Instant triple talaq was banned in India by the parliament by a law in the year 2019. It not only bans this practice but also criminalizes men who indulge in this practice. As per this practice, a Muslim man could divorce his wife immediately just by conveying the word talaq 3 times. But some Muslim men still use the discriminatory ritual violating basic human rights and dignity of women. But what was even more inhuman was the ritual that women had to go through in case the couple wanted to reverse the divorce and live as husband and wife again. Let us listen to what a Muslim woman has to go through after triple talaq if she and her husband wanted to undo the divorce.
I think it was in Bareilly. Women was given, triple talaq twice and was forced to sleep with her father-in-law, and to facilitate her remarriage to get to her first husband. But the woman's ordeal did not end here. She was pronounced triple talaq again by her husband after remarriage and was again forced to sleep with her brother-in-law in order to consummate her marriage. Like, what kind of nonsense is this? Do you see where do you see that a wife is being treated as a wife? This is just one instance out of so many, that people are not aware of. Apparently, the patriarchs of our community believes that this ensures that the ex-husband is serious enough about getting back to his wife, and I cannot imagine the pain, the suffering and the trauma that the women had to go through, especially in 21st century.
She is Zeba Zawaria, a women's rights activist who narrates the pain of sufferings of Muslim women of egregious practices like triple talaq. She says that triple talaq is a dying ritual after it was criminalized. But Muslim women's struggle for their rights do not end with banning of triple talaq, for they have even steeper battles to fight against polygamy and financial deprivation by their ex-husbands after divorce. Mufti Abdullah Al-Masood, an Islamic scholar who has left Islam recently, narrates about the law allowing polygamy in Islam.
Is permitted in Islam because in the ayat, in the surah number 4, Surah An-Nisa, Surah number 4, Surah An-Nisa, ayat number 3, verse number 3, Allah said, Muhammad, wa in khiftum alla tuqsitu fil yatama fankihu ma taba lakum minan nisa'i mathna wa thulatha wa ruba'. And if you fear that you will not deal justify with the orphan girls, then marry those that please please of you women, 2 or 3 or 4. Now Allah said you can marry women 2 or 3 or 4, but if you fear that you will not be just, then marry only one of those your right hand possesses. If you fear you cannot be justified or cannot justice in your wives, you can marry only one girl, but you have also another girl that in Islam as a slave girl. You can use your one wife and another slave girls.
Polygamy is not practiced in many well-to-do Muslim families, but women who go through it suffer severe emotional pain. In contrary, it is often portrayed as a practice which Muslim women have consent to. But Zeba says that it is nothing short of a lie, for no woman would accept her husband having more than one wife.
Polygamy is a very complex phenomena and a product of power relation with deep cultural, social, economic and political roots. So despite being banned in many countries, the practice persists and has been associated with women's marginalization, and definitely it affects the mental health of the women. No women in their sane mindset, will want this.
Zeba also says that in a polygamous marriage, children suffer from tremendous mental pain. She also says that it is not true that women enjoy polygamous marriages.
And polygamous families, have distinct household problems, usually stemming out, from the jealousy between the co-wives or over the husband's affection and resources, and the psychological impact of polygamous marriages on women and children was, it's found and was found to be relatively more than any monogamous relationship or marriage. So it actually takes a great amount of emotional, physical, and mental health issues.
Biggest problem is the social sanctions Muslim women face if they speak up against these discriminatory practices. One of the starkest examples was the fateful verdict by the Supreme Court in the year 1985, which the court observed that Shabano, a divorced Muslim woman, was entitled to alimony after divorce. As per Islamic law, a divorced Muslim woman is not entitled to any alimony after lapse of a period of 3 months after divorce. Soon after the court stood for the rights of the deprived woman, massive outrage against the verdict forced the government to pass a law in the parliament reversing the order. Zeba says that though later the Supreme Court of India clarified its stand on the issue of alimony to divorced Muslim women, confusion about the law still makes women run pillar to post for justice.
Back in I think 2009, the Supreme Court categorically held that even if a Muslim woman has been divorced, she would be entitled to claim maintenance from her husband under section 125 of the criminal procedure code after the expiry of the period of iddat, where you isolate after some time, as long as she does not remarry. So even after a decade after the law was settled by Supreme Court, many courts were still confused about the maintainability of applications that are filed under section 125 by of the code by divorced Muslim women. So few years back, I think in Patna High Court, they set aside an order of a lower court which dismissed a maintenance application filed by a Muslim woman.
Voiceless women are not only subjected to injustice by Indian men, but also by the sheikhs of Saudi Arabia, who see these women as subjects and objects for only sexual gratification. Bride shopping is a practice rampant in India, in which wealthy Arab merchants engage in short-lived marriage agreements with minor girls from poor families. Though a section of Muslim society is against this inhuman practice, hardly there is any angst in the media against it. Zeba interprets the reason behind the silence of the mainstream media.
These happen in areas, especially in Hyderabad, where there are hardly any policing, or it's like a no-go zone for police. So I would state that some of the reason that it doesn't gets the limelight that it is due is because a lot of people don't even know that it happens, or that or secondly, you can say that there is big money involved. So anyone who tries to raise the issue is either bribed or is silenced. Or you can say that it happens with the backing of political outfit and the religious clergy from all across the country. So people are afraid of raising the issue. And above all, the left media also does not talk about it for, fear of stoking Islamophobia. So yeah, these might be some of the reasons that these kind of activities go, we don't get to hear about it.
The Muslim women's battle for equality is a long-drawn one. The social deterrences make it even more steep. But the journey will accelerate once the society acknowledges the very fact that these injustices exist in the first place.
I would just say that, that there is a problem within our community, and we need to come up with solutions from our community to, bring in reforms.